So 2 Peter 1:5 says, giving all diligence to add to your faith virtue. And virtue embodies moral excellence or character. And this character that you add to your faith is going to make you fruitful in your knowledge of Jesus Christ. It doesn't say it'll help you be fruitful. It says it'll make you be fruitful. And so that's what we should be doing as Christians, is trying to add more character into our life. Today, I don't have one or two. I got three guests from the CDL Cafe on with me today. The CDL Cafe stands for Character-Driven Leadership, and it's a movement bringing thinkers, builders, and change makers to confront the real cracks in modern leadership. These are three leaders from three different cultures, united by one mission, and that is to help leaders rise with values, integrity, and principles. And so we're going to talk about this movement, what they do, and also about VIP leadership and what that is. And so without further delay, I'd like to introduce Dr. Makki, Coach Attala, and Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr. from the CDL Cafe. And so welcome. And I usually ask my guests this question: what is one way that you have found to honor God in your business that others may not know about? So it'd be fun to get a little bit from each one of you. What is one way that you have found to honor God in your business? Attala, why don't you go first?
It's just cultivating those values that I use. Those values come from also personal, so spiritual. So that's one of the things people can come think. But at the end of the day, I like to reconnect them more with their spiritual awareness also. And using values like faith, compassion, empathy, right? Kindness, forgiveness, especially too, and love and gratitude. So for me, it's like reconnecting something that is important in their lives, but also that is going to have a benefit in every single other area. But at the end of the day, spiritual growth be high. Sometimes people really don't know. That's what also is the end of, which I think that's for me one of the most important things.
All right, very good. Thank you. What did the others do?
Dr. McKenzie.
Dr. Makki.
All right.
Can you hear Dr. Makki?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. You can hear me right?
Yes.
All right. For me, if I talk, I'm going to talk for long. So I'm going to try to, I have to make it short. All right. The way that I do it is I think of it this way. You see, we all have gifts, and serving your gift is your way to pay it forward. You know, God has placed something in you that you have to serve to others. And so I live my life by acronyms and frameworks, and if I can say also statements. So the way I see it is trust God, lead yourself, love people. So I trust God in what He placed in me, and I have to lead myself in order to love people the way you should love them, is by serving them. Serving them the fruit that you have within. Think of it as a tree. The tree doesn't go to people. People go to the tree to eat their fruit, right? So, and the tree doesn't care who comes first, who's there. I mean, it doesn't label the people who goes to grab the fruit. It just serves the fruit. So that's the way that I see it, and that's the way I'm acting on it, and that's how I come up with ways to serve other people.
Okay. Leroy.
I'll give it into three different quick ways. His name, which is the name of my company, JNF Enterprises, which stands for Jesus Never Fails. I honor him in his name. I honor him in the serving of others, making sure that I make people. My goal is always to make people better. 1% better. Just as he did. And the third thing is by producing impact. He told us in his words, hey, you got to multiply, and hopefully by what I do better, producing the impact that leads people to be better in life.
Okay, very good. Thank you. So beyond that, let's get to the CDL Cafe. Give me a little background of how this came to be and why the name.
Great question. All right. I love jazz. I love quiet. I love to sit in a corner and just reflect. And just like I was telling you, I come up with ways of like how to serve people. And one of the ways that make you serve people better is being able to see cracks, being able to see the problem that is going in certain areas. And I'm a person who's passionate about leadership, and I know that everything relates to leadership. And one of the statements that stuck with me for years was the quote by John C. Maxwell when he said, "Everything rises and falls on leadership." And I just fell in love with the concept called leadership, and I've been studying leadership for long years. We're talking like almost 15, something like this, 15 plus years. I've been studying leadership, and that's why I came up with my own philosophy. Anyway, so one day I was sitting on my chair and having my coffee and thinking about so many incidents that are related to leadership and corruption and organizations and the daily transactions, the daily life we go through. You face incidents and you will be able to spot problems, especially in the area that you focus on looking at. So I see everything around me from leadership lenses, if we may say that. And one day I was like sitting on my chair having a coffee, and I was thinking about few incidents, and I said like, it doesn't have to be long to raise awareness. And giving a tip or giving advice or giving an insight can be as quick as a sip. And I was sipping my coffee. So I said, wait a second. We're talking about sip and tip. So why don't I start, giving tips in sips? And then, uh, exactly. And then it came to my mind like, all right, what comes with tips? Like, let me imagine if I'm having, breakfast or I'm having something. I'm gonna, I'm gonna be sipping coffee. I'm gonna have bites. What comes with bites? We're talking about insights, okay, and some cheesecake slices. So we're talking about advice, and that's how it started developing in my mind. I said like, I'm talking about food. Am I hungry? Do I? um, I don't know, like what's going. I went on the internet, searching about few things, and things started connecting together. At the same time, I was in a place where I was catching up with old connections and connecting with new people, trying to change my circle and everything. And as I said at the beginning of this interview, I came, I mean, Dr. McKenzie came to my mind, and I contacted him and I said like, it's been a long time since we connected, so do you mind if we can catch up on a call or something? Of course, as you can, I mean, you know him, so he welcomed the idea, catching up and everything. So we connected together and we started talking, and our conversation led to the point where I'm sharing with him what happened with me, as like how I came with the idea and everything. And I found myself talking about the vision, and I found myself talking like I just opened my heart, and I spoke my heart during our conversation. And I saw like we as entrepreneurs, when we talk to people, we can sense, we can look into the facial expression and everything. I saw that Dr. McKenzie was welcoming the idea, and he was handling it in a way that made me want to talk more. And I started sharing the ideas and everything, and he welcomed the idea, and he started throwing suggestions and everything. And from that moment, I started elaborating more on the idea, collecting things together, putting together the puzzle, and I created a video out of imagination. Luckily, after a few days from creating the video, one of the requests that I sent through Facebook was Attala. So she was a total stranger, and she accepted my request after 3 weeks or 4 weeks, something like this. So she sent me a message and she asked me the question, "What are you doing?" I was in the middle of creating the whole concept because I was committing to a schedule with Dr. Leroy. Every week we connect and talk and exchange ideas. That was only the beginning. And I found myself telling her, I'm doing this. I'm going to share with you the video. I shared with her the video. It was the very first conversation. We didn't take much, and this is how we connected. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is because when the right people connect, it doesn't matter the time, you know, to warm the contact and everything. I'm not saying that you don't have to do that, but sometimes the right people, when they connect, they don't need warming. I mean, they connect. They just connect. And from the very first conversation, I shared with her the video, and she liked the idea. And then we set a time for us to connect and talk, and we started elaborating more on it. Here, I got Dr. McKenzie and I had Attala. I'm connecting with them on a weekly basis, and they started adding suggestions and input and feedback and ideas and like this, and the idea just grew. And I was
Sure.
working on something, I forgot about it, and I started focusing on the character driven leadership. So that's how everything happened. And it's connected to what I do as a leadership expert. I'm specialized in character driven leadership, and that's why I called it the Character Driven Leadership Cafe. We're having fun, we're enjoying the time, but at the same time, we're adding value to others. And the word cafe followed the character driven leadership is because of the tips and sips, the slice of advice, and the bites of insight. And that's how the menu started developing. That's it.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Makki. So, what does the cafe do today? Do you have times that you meet and other people meeting, or do you have a class, or what do you do?
All right.
Anybody?
In social media, I mean, I spoke a lot, right? Let's go to Dr. McKenzie. Let's go to Dr. McKenzie. Maybe
Well,
he'll put it
it,
in
no,
a better
just
way.
what the cafe does, it gives the opportunity for entrepreneurs, for leaders, those that are or that run organizations to be able to gather on a weekly basis, or to be able to come into the social media platforms that we have and to share information that will, as I mentioned, make us as leaders better. Under the premise of character, letting character be the lead, leading as Dr. Mackey says, leading with character. So, whether it's through the platform, coming into the different platforms, social media platforms that we have, which we have, you can come in on any time and join, or our weekly conversations, which we call the Table Talk Wednesdays, which is where we come and anyone that's a part of the cafe, they can come in, have a seat. It's a virtual seat. Come in, have a seat, have your drink. And Dr. Mackey likes coffee, but I tell her now we want soda. So 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 we
Uh,
you get to pick a beverage. It's just to make it give that feel to you where you can come and we have conversations around leadership. We have conversations around character and how we as leaders can benefit from doing that. And then we share tips and tools. You can go into like on our Facebook page. We have forms that you can use as a leader that might be beneficial for you. You can go in, you can grab a PDF download, all of those things and everything like that. The table talks are recorded So you can go on to our YouTube channel. You can watch any of them at any time. So that's available for people to be able to use as well too. And then on LinkedIn, you can, you're able to get the tips and tips like that Dr. Mackey talked about, where you can get those on a daily basis. And then on one day a week, we have what's called the Cafe Specials, which is where we as leaders, we do whether it's a guest that we've had on there, they leave something on the leadership wall, kind of like a nugget. And then we also do the specials, the cafe specials, which is just us having a topic for about maybe 3 to 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, where we're giving you some information on a particular topic on leadership. And being able to just make us better as leaders. So that's just a little bit about what we do in the cafe.
Sounds very interesting. We will get links and notes and stuff, put that in the show notes for later on. So if you want to connect with them.
Yes.
You've talked about VIP leadership. What is VIP leadership?
It's practically, we're talking about values, integrity, and principles. So that's what I love, because we're three different perspectives with different kind of life experiences, professional experience. But at the same time, we are all on the same both. We are in alignment. We see life like we want to add value to people, because we want to add value not just to a leader. Leader also has an impact in his life, right? His family, also in the business, in our clients. So it's like a very open mindset, but with one intention. We need to live our life more with values. Values are lost in these days. There is no compassion. There is no empathy. There is a lot of resentment. There is a lot of anger in people. That's why we see life like, if we can add value, create a little bit of consciousness, how in the world we're going to be starting, like living better, feeling better. We're going to get back our health as well. I think that principles, integrity, values are fundamental in kids, in teenagers, in adults, even in other people that they have so much wisdom. So I believe we need to go back to the race, to the root. We are missing the most important thing in this life. We can have great leadership skills to be productive, but if you don't have the human connection part, how in the world? You are leading people, you are leading lives as well. So I think that being able to bring this perspective, that I really see a lot of things coming up. We have vision. I mean, sometimes God speaks through vision. So I think this is just a movement that maybe it's just started, but the influence, the impact, especially because we are not talking about just be productive, or be a leader that you are leading people through control or through fear. A lot of leaders, they lead by that. We're talking about go back to the basis, start develop your values, the integrity, the principles. That's going to have a huge impact. And then people will follow you naturally, because they connect, because you are serving, because you are listening, because you are impacting people naturally. So I'm just happy to be with Dr. McKenzie and also Dr. Makki, because also every time that we connect, we learn from each other too.
Sure.
Can I add something, David, real quick? With Attala? Just really quickly about are you a VIP or becoming a VIP? That's something that I know that you have been aware of, that's missing in the marketplace today, that's missing in the industry today. Having the values, integrity, and principles that guide you as a leader. Leadership is lacking big time in this world today. So this is where that gap that Dr. Mackey saw, and he wanted to be able to bridge that gap and saying, hey, okay, if you have leaders that aren't equipped, here's some things that that we're doing that can equip you as a leader to be able to do that. And then on the other end, even if you are a leader and you may have some skills, it gives you the opportunity to kind of network and build and grow with others that have the like-mindedness that you have as a leader and wanted to have impact. So I think that was my draw as well to the character-driven leadership cafe, being a VIP leader, and just everything that Dr. Mackey had envisioned and what he talked to us about when he came to us with this idea.
I think that's interesting that you're focusing on character, not necessarily on values. because in the coaching world and the business world today, a lot of people promote what are your core values, and that's really true. I mean, what are your core values? What you live by, because that's what's going to make you fulfilled in life. But character, it's kind of like, okay, we just want all the good values. Because you can have a core value of, I want to make lots of money all the time. That may be what's driving you, but that's not necessarily a good character. And so that's where I like the difference between the character and the values there. You made mention before that character is the new competitive advantage. Can you give me a specific example of how or why character is an advantage today?
Can you hear me, Doc? You couldn't hear him?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. I don't know why the screen is freezing, but I'm following your instruction. I'll keep going. I'll keep going. What was the question again?
Character, you say, is the new competitive advantage. It's not just having values, but it's having character. Why is character a competitive advantage in leadership and in business today?
I can say that character is the new and old because in some areas, some people say that you have to develop character, and some people say that you have to reveal your character. Everyone have his own perspective around how character is being reflected to others. So I'm not gonna talk in this this type of thing because we could go for long talking about it. But the reason why I'm saying this is because character requires what God tell us to do. It requires discipline in the first place. And when I see people calling themselves or have the credential of doctor, DR, before their name, I have a special definition for this. In order for you to be a doctor or an expert in your field, you have to have two things, D and R, discipline and responsibility. You have to be, like I told you, the statement that I believe in, trust God, lead yourself, love people. So you have to be disciplined in how you're leading yourself, how you're understanding your relationship with God, what are you equipped with, what are the things that you cannot cross in your life, leading by example. The people who repeats the term lead by example, but this is a heavy term. It's something heavy. It's a heavy statement. Lead by example. You can talk about it all day, but what are you doing in private? Because what you do in private automatically make you a person who reflects the right thing, that makes people want to follow you, if that makes sense. So going back to the credential, DR, discipline, and then responsible for what you are radiating out of your discipline. You have to be responsible for the message that you are putting out there. So that's why character is the new advantage, and the old corner or backbone that we have within us, created by God. All we have to do is reveal it, develop it, whatever you will put it in, development or revealing or whatever the case may be. Character requires discipline, requires hard work, requires you being honest with yourself in private, because what you do in private translates automatically what you do in public, and that's a challenge.
It is true. Yes. Who you are in private will come out in the wash. Yes. So character is very important. Can you give me an example of how character influences culture versus and performance? Because most people at work, they just care about performing. They just care about getting their product out the door, doing their job, getting the paperwork signed. How does having good values shape how they do their work?
I would say something. It's an integration here because we're talking about values, integrity, and principles. When you are in a company, when you are leading people, most of the time you just say, we want productivity, performance. But what about seeing the person that also you are leading? Because this person, the more connected that you are at a human level, is going to be performing better. No worse. You're going to break boundaries because the person is more alive, more able to share his ideas or her ideas, his talents. So those people are going to be able to add more into, not less. Something else is like well-being is going to be there also because the less friction, the more connection, human connection we can build, the healing starts right there. The productivity starts right there. The connection, the communication is more pure. So I think that we have to reframe this because it's through character. And I think the three of them are fundamental. Because there's also something else that I have seen, for example, when you are able to break that barrier, mental barrier, I cannot connect at a human level. They need to be productive. They need to, fulfill all these requirements. Yes, so you are missing the point. That person is overstressed, burnout. He's not going to be performing. I'm sorry. That's true. Something else. That person is not going to be able to give his very best because he feels intimidated sometimes because he doesn't feel heard or seen. Another point that person also is having a connection with clients, most probably, right? Or with patients, that was my case. So that energy is transferred. We forgot about that. Our energy is our resource, inner resource. The more connected that we can be, the more visible that we can feel, people perform better. So we're breaking barriers, but also we're adding well-being, which is important. You can sometimes I see leaders so overwhelmed. They cannot do their best because people see them and they feel them. But if we're in a room, we feel each other. Our energy, our purpose, our call, the intention that we have. So I think that we need to remember always how we're leading our life, how we're leading our thoughts, develop emotions, feelings. So when you start leading from the best, the core, the value, I would say even the spirit, because that's the pure thing that we can have, everything starts in alignment, in coherence, in harmony. And then you can truly impact people's lives.
Very good. And one more question. We've talked about leadership, we've talked about character and all that stuff. As leaders, what are some simple practical steps we can make to start applying this in our life and our business today? Not only modeling character, but encouraging it in our employees.
Yeah, I think the first thing, like you just mentioned, is not just speaking with my movement, being a leader of character. To me, it all starts there. With everything that's going on here, and it just makes me think about what's going on up at University of Michigan and what happened with the head coach there. Those are the things that drives leadership, and you have to understand that you are always the example, and you have to understand what it is to be a leader, to lead by example, to understand having your core values, as we talked a little bit about, having your PVS, which is what I call your personal value system. What's your personal value system? That's gonna hold you accountable to the things that you say that you want to be or that you want to do. That's your character. Do you hold yourself accountable for those particular principles that you say you want to abide by? And if you have those principles in place, then it gives you something to first hold you accountable for, because you have to look inward first before you can even look outside. I can't expect you to do something that I'm not even doing myself. So I think when we look at it from that perspective and having that development of your personal value system, holding yourself accountable to those characteristics and principles that you say you are, that becomes the leveling point that you go from there. Then being able to make sure or ensure that you instill that in those that you hire. First of all, that they have the same kind of mindset, and then two, that they have the same kind of understanding that you have, and then it becomes your culture, developing that as your culture inside of your organization, and those that you even surround yourself with. I think you start there, to me.
Okay, very good. Yes, you have to have your own value system before you can pass it on. And I know this is probably just added extra, but I think it's very simple. Once you figure that out, write it on a note card and look at it, because that's part of remembering what your values are. Because, then if you tell somebody else, here are my values, they get to hold you accountable to it. It's like, hey, Leroy, you are not matching up to your values you said you were going to do. That's another level of accountability that we could probably submit ourselves onto that would be extremely helpful. So what are some final thoughts, guys, for how to lead with character? What would you like to leave my audience with? Attala, what would you like to leave my audience with?
I would say to just kind of just pause a little bit. I love to pause because in silence you can have guidance also. And from there you can actually connect with a higher call. And when your call is leading by values, integrity, and principles, it's going to be easy to achieve your purpose, but also it's going to be easy to lead people. Especially when you are truly connected with, in my case, with I feel like love is one of them, and love is not romantic. Love is reaching people. Love is listening. Love is being present. Love is being there. Sometimes without even saying anything, supporting someone. And I think love needs leadership. And people confuse that with romantic love. Absolutely, it's not that way. But it's loving people, wanting the best for people, acting in your words, in your thoughts, in your action. And that's the beauty of that. Keep us higher, a level of energy, but also keep us centered and connected. So I would say practice more love people, love for me God, but also love the purpose of the call that He has placed in you.
Very good. Love that purpose that God's called you to, yes. Very good. Dr. Makki, what would you like to challenge our audience with as we leave?
From my experience, the whole journey, the thing that is going to unlock you from where you are to where you want to be is questions. Ask yourself questions. Be your own friend. Because when you are your own friend, you will not be able to cheat yourself because you know who you are. So be your own friend. Have, like what Attala said, the pause timing. Like I have my own chair, like I have my own time in the morning, maybe in the afternoon, and sometime in the evening before I sleep. I ask myself questions. Now there are some people, and maybe I consider myself one of them, who are harsh on themselves. You know, I ask myself so many questions, and I might, fight with myself in certain way. But the thing is, the golden key is ask yourself questions, true questions, and before acting on something, just ask yourself, does this align with who I am? Does this the way I want to reflect myself to people? Does this the way, keep asking yourself questions in every step, until it becomes internalized. I have a framework that holds my family name, the Makki method. The I stands for internalization. Nothing works until you internalize whatever you said I want to do, or I want to make, or I want to create. Nothing works until you internalize. Let's talk about the personal value system. You can have it on a card, you can have it on a paper, you can have it on a wall. But if you don't embody and internalize them, nothing happens. It's just a decoration, right? So the key point is
Absolutely.
be honest with yourself, be your own friend, and ask yourself questions. So that's the challenge.
Okay. Very good. Thank you. Leroy, do you have a final parting challenge for my audience?
Yeah, I think character begins with two understandings, and and they've mentioned them, I believe, is identity and purpose. Who are you and why are you? Every leader must answer that question. If you're going to lead, you have to be able to answer those two questions in every aspect of your life, not just in your business life, but also in your personal life and those that you deal with. And that's what that's what we deal with here in the Character Driven Leadership Cafe, but also the webinar that's coming up on December the 19th. Are you a VIP leader? Are you a leader with values, integrity, and principles? And for those that will attend at that 10 of 10, you will be able to come there and come away with understanding. What are my values? Do I have integrity? Am I a person of integrity? And then what principles do I need to have in place? So we just talked about the PBS. What principles do I need to have in place in order to be able to be that leader of character? And when you put all of that together, you not only make yourself better, but you make those that you lead even better as well too. So I would leave the audience with those very things. Join us on December the 19th. It's virtual. I'll make sure that you have all of the information that you can pass on to everyone as well too. But I think it's a great opportunity. This is the end of the year. This is the last webinar of the year going into 2026. What are your goals? What is your assignment for 2026? And that's it. You can have that. You want to have that together before you even go into 2026. So this would be a great opportunity to do that.
Okay. And you guys also have webinars into 2026 too. This is just your last one, right? This year.
Actually,
Correct.
actually, the
Okay.
webinar,
Very good.
this webinar is the very first one that we are putting out there in public for everybody. We started with the table talks. We are going to have something called the ICU, the Intensive Character Unit podcast. So we will be having, we will be mapping out webinars that are going to help whoever joins us in the community or the YouTube channel and everything, to help them become VIP leaders. Yes, we are going to map up webinars. That's the first one that we are going to have on the 19th of December, the VIP leader. And if I may share the quick story behind the VIP leader, this framework came to life because of our conversations. So this is something important that I need to share, is that when you connect with people and start talking and sharing ideas, you are going to come up with something valuable. Like, because we had our conversations, me and Attala and Dr. McKenzie, I noticed that we've been talking about values, integrity, and principles. And that's why I asked them, hey, why don't we call it the VIP leader? Because that's what I heard from our conversations. We are talking about values, integrity, and principles. And they like the idea. And that's what I love about Attala and Dr. McKenzie. I mean, you talk to them, they encourage you, they inspire you, they motivate you without them doing it intentionally. And that's what I'm talking about when you are a character-driven leadership. When you work on your character, you will start vibrating the inner energy without, like, it's gonna be effortless, effortlessly. Excuse me. No effort, right? So when you work on the character from the inside, the radiation is going to be the energy that you are seeing today between us three. So I just wanted to make this point clear to everybody, that everything comes from fruitful conversations.
Okay. Dr. Makki, Attala, and Leroy, thank you so much for your time today, your encouragement, and talking about the VIP leadership and what that means to us. And as far as the audience goes, if you're looking forward to getting deeper into learning more about the CDL Cafe and joining this movement, check out the show notes for links, sites, and free resources. And remember, your business represents the great God you serve. So build a business worthy of God's great name and in a way that honors Him. Bye for now.